Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
What's up, Good Morning Hospitality listeners? You are listening to our special hotelier edition of Good Morning Hospitality, and we want to give you a message from our partners at Sojo. Now, we have partnered with Sojo. Whether you're a hotelier or a vacation rental management company or operator in the space, you can then sign up for Sojo's products from amazing soaps, shampoos, coffee boxes, and even wine. Some states you may not be able to get shipped to, so make sure you check out what states you can. But you can partner with them and get dynamically placed amenities to your property. Hotel or vacation rental, it doesn't matter. They have the ability to do it, and it's all dynamic. So that means whenever you're getting bookings, you're getting amenities. When you're not getting bookings, you're not getting amenities, aka you're saving money by not having to subscribe to another software and service that only goes off of a subscription. This actually goes off of your calendar and your volume. So reach out to our friends at Sojo. And if you have 50 properties or more, make sure you ask them about their custom branded amenity boxes just for your brand. They would love to take care of you. The team is amazing. And of course, we loved having Max, the founder, on the podcast just a few short months ago. So thank you so much to our friends at Sojo. And now back to Good Morning Hospitality with Sarah and Steve.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels and short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. I can't believe it. A week has gone by. I missed our chats.
I know this has been how exciting. We're already on week 3 here, and I think it's been off to a great start so far. And it's been really exciting also kind of doing a little bit of the research, seeing what's going on out there, thinking about it, knowing what people are reaching out to us. Hey, they're seeing XYZ out there when they're either traveling or at work, new trends. So this has been a fun couple of weeks, and excited to just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, I love all the listeners and watchers sending us their stories, and for those watching and listening live, like Sarah, we were saying, we got to get the roll call going early.
Yes,
so we'd love to hear where you're from. Who are you watching from?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely let us know where you're joining us from, where in the world you are joining us from. Always so exciting and cool. It's, again, it's that reminder that hospitality really is universal, and it doesn't matter where you are. Whatever you're going through, we probably have a lot of similarities, depending on, the property, the destination, all of that. So that's always exciting. So again, let us know where you're tuning in from. But today we're talking about some interesting topics.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff on this list today. And
yeah.
I think we were just backstage talking about how some of this might affect you soon.
Oh,
so
whoa.
I'm
Exactly.
excited to learn some more here from our
Beep, beep.
car expert, Sarah.
Yeah, exactly. Next week, I'm going to be starting a car show. No, so today we are going to be talking about increased EV offerings, electric vehicle charging offerings at hotels, the high hotel rates. I don't know about you, but I get asked all the time about these high hotel rates. Are they going to go down? And then also, and I'm excited about this conversation. Steve and I definitely have a lot of experience with this in the background, but the rise of the six-figure vacation. Six-figure vacation. Yes, that means
6 figures. Big spending.
Yeah, we like big spending. That's where the fun stuff happens. So a couple people joining in, St. Simon's Island, Georgia. Oh, I was there when I was like 12. I love that.
Yeah. And Christos from the island of Cyprus. We got
Miami.
Tracy in Miami, my Miami people. Love to see it.
Love to see it. No. So this is super, super cool. Well, you guys keep joining in, letting us know where you're tuning in from, but why don't we go ahead and start diving into the topics? You ready,
Yeah, let's
Steve?
jump into it. Let's get it started.
Cool. Okay, so this first topic, I know I felt kind of like silly, but I was like, okay, we got to talk about this, and we'll explain why I felt silly. So, big announcement: Hilton and Tesla have actually created the hotel industry's largest overnight electronic vehicle charging network. So they basically, Hilton just announced that they'd expanded their agreement with Tesla, and they're actually going to bring up to 20,000 universal wall connectors to 2,000 hotels in the US, Canada, and Mexico starting in early 2024. So that's big news in a lot of different ways. What are you feeling about this, Steve?
Well, I have two thoughts. One, I've always been a little bit nervous about switching to electric, and I'm a big
Yeah,
sustainability
same.
guy. And this makes me feel a little bit better knowing I can go on some of these road trips, know that if
Yeah.
I had an electric vehicle, I have a lot more places to charge.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really cool. And I have a free consulting for Hilton here. Okay. I think
Ooh,
you all, if you have a Hilton and you're getting these charging stations, is to create a charging special in your cafe or restaurants for people charging their cars there. So maybe it's a discount on coffee. Maybe it's a special that rotates every month. I would be going into those hotels to enjoy those things. So make it your electric charging special of the week or month. Free for you, Hilton. No fee for this consulting today.
oh my! Wait, Steve, that's a brilliant idea. That
Yeah, I think
like,
it'd be great. And they would encourage people to
hello.
come in.
That's no, that's like such a great idea because it's something simple like that that can make the difference, and it reminds people that it is an option, especially if they're staying there. But I really love this because again, we are seeing more of this shift to electric vehicles just all in all. Actually, by the way, for those that don't know, the number one purchased vehicle in the United States right now is a Tesla. I believe it's the Model Y, and then just followed by the Model 3. So
Amazing.
yes, again, I'm not going to turn this into a car show because, by the way, my knowledge on cars is a little bit ridiculous. When I go in, I go all in. And we're laughing because maybe in the next week or two, I will be the proud owner of a Tesla myself. And as Steve was mentioning, I too have been nervous. Like, okay, the charging situation. Like, can I add this into my lifestyle? I say yes, but
And for listeners and watchers out there, if you happen to have an electric car, let us know if that's been something that you've been holding you back or you enjoy that Hilton doing this. Would that make a difference to you? Because a lot of hotels now are hiring directors of sustainability. And
yeah.
you see major companies are now hiring this position, big and small. And so they're making a focus of making this earth a better place to live. And I don't know enough about the science, but electric vehicles seem to be doing that difference here.
No,
Versus
definitely. Well, you also bring up an interesting point, and it got me thinking. I had family in town visiting from. God, this sounds good. I had family in town visiting from Saudi Arabia, and they were actually staying in San Diego. And there was like 10 of them, and they rented because they were there for about a month. They rented 5 different EV vehicles from Teslas to BMWs, and I thought it was really interesting, especially going in and around Southern California, just north of San Diego. I mean, I felt like 70% of the cars on the road were electric vehicles. And then I even was in Austin last year and we rented a car and they gave us a Tesla and we were able to charge it so easily at the Line Hotel when we were staying there. So,
so cool.
I know that I would have been nervous. So by the way, I already have battery like FOMO, like on my phone where I'm like, oh, my phone's at 65%. I'm nervous. So I don't know what I'm doing with an electric car, but
Yeah. And as
it's
Tony mentions, he's saying EV charging is one of the first things that EV drivers look for when booking a hotel. So he
totally
always stays at places that charges. So it seems like Hilton's on to the right thing. And I'm sure a bunch of other hotels are going to start to follow.
100%. I mean, this is definitely it only makes sense, to be offering that for a guest. And again, also considering the destination and, the average type of clients that you've got staying at your hotel as well too. So, exciting news,
No, I
cutting
love it.
edge.
I think it's great. Elon Musk, the genius, keeps putting in things out there to make our world better.
I know, I know. Okay, so moving on to this next topic here, and talking about just hotel rates just continuing to rise. And I mean, a lot of us, I mean, we work in the industry, we know it, we understand it from the back end. But I get a lot of travelers that reach out to me on a regular basis, and they're like, okay, yeah, it's expensive now, but like, when are the prices going down? And I'm like, what? Like, how cheap you looking for? And explaining to people that we're just kind of living in this new time, this new era that, first of all, you're not going to be getting the rates that you were seeing in 2020 and 2021, early 2021. Like, we're way
Mhm.
past that. But not even that. It's like understanding the state of the world now. I mean, Steve, have you found people reaching out to you and inquiring about the
Yeah,
same?
it's been interesting, but I've seen the rates rising in different parts of the world, right? I see
Yeah.
Europe all of a sudden skyrocketing,
Hmm.
and it seemed like my social media feeds were filled with people traveling to Italy, into
Everybody.
Greece,
Yep.
into France. It was just amazing to see all these people going there and seeing their rates spike. And I
Hmm.
think globally the rates raise, but certain areas, have been a little challenging, but the rates are still holding. Like I know in my areas of Miami Beach, we got some good
Yeah.
deals that were happening this month, which is one of our
Yes.
slower months. And so we're all wishing it was 2022 and 2021 to get those rates that we had because everyone was coming to Miami and Miami
Hmm.
Beach.
Yeah.
But a lot of people going on cruises now too. And so
Yeah.
cruise prices are all time highs. And talking to some of the people in the cruise industry, it's like they've never seen this many people coming on.
Yeah, I mean, it again, this, and it's so, by the way, I've never been a huge fan of this phrase, but that notion of that pent-up demand for travel. We are just living in this new era that people are obviously putting more emphasis and weight on. Yes,
Mhm.
they want to travel. Yes, they're okay spending. And the rates are reflecting it. Not only that, but I mean, we're living in a time of inflation, by the way, which is not only domestically, but it's globally as well too. So the world has changed. It's just more expensive to live in it. And so, I mean, it's going to be hard to find the really, really, really
Yes.
huge steep deals maybe that we were finding, before. It's a different time of.
Yeah, especially the hotels that are giving great experiences, and so those people are willing to pay up for
Yes.
those, and so the demand
Yeah.
to get into those places, it's hard to get into some of the top hotels in the world because they are doing such a great job, and people know
Yeah.
life is short. I wanna pay up to have these great lifetime memory-making experiences.
Totally. And I always like to say this, it's a shift of this concept of value, and it's not necessarily like, obviously people have budgets, it's not saying like everybody's just going to spend everything. You have ideal budgets, totally get that, but it's not, hopefully a shifting more away from like the nickel and diming and really
Mhm.
understanding the value
Yes.
um that the property or the experience is bringing to the overall travel or vacation that you have planned, because you're making those memories. And it's like, what's seamless, what provides a certain level of comfort or even just consistency as well too. People really overlook consistency quite a bit.
Yeah, especially if you are a fan of a brand, you wanna feel like you're wanted and that they know you keep coming, and there's certain companies that do a great job of that, like, "Hey, welcome back, Sarah. Great to
Yes.
see you again." I'm sure you've been at hotels that you've been many times, or like, "Is this your first time staying with us?"
Yeah. Oh, completely, complete. And I will say this, from all my years of being a concierge at multiple properties, where we would have guests that they could really stay wherever when they
Mhm.
came to Los Angeles and the Beverly Hills area. They could stay at any hotel, and they would specifically come back because of the people that work there. So never underestimate your staff. Yes, you can get fine linens everywhere. Yes, you can have like marble floors, but it's like people come back because they want to feel a sense of home when they're away from home,
It's
so to
true,
speak.
and that's why they're paying up for those rates because those hotels that keep that going and make people feel special are getting those rates. I
Yeah.
love seeing that.
No, me too. Me too. Okay. Switching gears a bit, let's talk some travel and let's talk the rise of the six-figure vacation. So six-figure vacation, I'm going to spell that out for everybody. We're talking about vacations where families are spending more than $100,000 on their entire trip, or even just the experience part of their trip. So what we've basically been seeing is that the ultra high net worth individuals are continuing to spend on travel, and high-end tour operators are definitely seeing a huge rise in their trips. And I know Steve and I have a lot to say about this.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you
Well, look,
kind of like see, or what can
both
you
of
share?
well, I would say as we were looking at this headline, we started to dive into it more, and it just shows it goes back to, yes, rates are rising, but people want these lifetime experiences. So a lot of these trips are families that are going on journeys. It's not like your 1 week trip. They're taking a month to go travel
Mhm.
the world on a private jet and
Yep.
have experiences that are one of a kind.
Yeah.
And I know that, Sarah does a great job of planning these trips for people. And now I'm getting into that as well. And so it's a unique thing to be able to offer people,
Mhm.
because they don't want just the same old, same old. They
Yeah.
want to have something that they're going to remember, that their kids will remember, that their grandparents will remember. And people have more flexibility with all this technology, like us coming to you live from 2 parts of the country. We are now able to travel and work anywhere. So I think
Yeah.
we're starting to see people willing to spend big money on these trips.
Oh, 100%. And the other thing, and this is, by the way, being somebody who I always loved selling as a concierge, I was selling or just explaining to people the value. Again, the key word I think of the day is value, of maybe doing some of these like private experiences, is especially if you are a family and you are 5 people or 6 or 8 or 10,
Mhm.
by the time you would pay for individual tickets for something else, or for like a basic package or a basic experience, if you opt for the private route, um, it doesn't end up being that necessarily that much more, but the experience is tenfold better. And then even if you want to go a little bit more extravagant, by the time you take the number of people in the family that are participating and then you divide it by 10 or whatever, you're like, oh, well, that actually kind of makes sense. But, I think a lot of people get kind of caught up with the idea of like the final dollar amount, but it's like when you're really understanding the number of individuals that are taking part of it, it actually makes sense. So,
Yeah, and I see it too with big celebrations, like life celebrations, right?
yes.
Whether it's the big birthday or people celebrating weddings. Like I remember some of our hotels, you see the $1 million weddings, which was always mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
But these 6-figure trips where you're really celebrating key moments in life, I think is going to continue. And hopefully, I can get to the point where I can spend 6 figures on these trips, right, Sarah? We'll
Yeah.
work up to the getting those.
We got
Um,
that. We got that.
yeah,
Exactly. By the way, a shout out to Anthony Melchiori who was tuning in. Oh, look at
we'd
that.
love to see it. Welcome,
We'll have
Anthony.
to
Great to
see
have
it.
you here.
Anthony, we might have to have you pop on one day. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, so I love seeing if anyone out there has any cool, unique places. Like I just had Virgie Shafino on the Hospitality Mentor podcast from Lux
Mhm.
Voyage, and she just does that. She just plans these one of a kind, unique trips that you can't book anywhere else. It's amazing to see.
Yeah. No, and there's so many unique ways that people can experience a destination. And to me, it's always exciting to hear what other people are doing and planning, because it gets your creativity
Mhm.
going and flowing. And what I always like is, in the case of people that are um, willing to spend a little bit more, or maybe they might not be as price sensitive. That's where you can play. That's where you can do the really cool things. Like you could do like a helicopter tour to XYZ, and then maybe a private wine tasting or whatever that is. So it's really exciting that at the end of the day you can have that, but it's all about creating the memories. And that's what we
Yes.
do in hospitality. We just we are creating memories for people.
That's addicting. It's an addicting feeling when you know they're going to remember that moment forever.
It
So,
is.
so listeners and watchers, if you have any of these cool experiences or you've seen them, send them in to us. We might do a deep dive episode on some of these awesome
Ooh.
ones.
Yeah, no, I think it would be really cool. And then there was another article that came out actually that kind of ties into it, is these luxury dining experiences, because
Mhm.
obviously in travel, it's not necessarily just tours that you're going on. It's not necessarily just hotels or homes, luxury villas that you're staying in. It's also what you're doing and you're eating, and like how are these. It's kind of amazing that, and these properties are doing some pretty unique and fascinating things. So I don't know if you've seen anything in particular, Steve.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, look, just and seeing what's happening. It's not these, yes, there are great restaurants that are award winning and they have
yeah.
Michelin stars. These are an experience like on an
Mhm.
island, on the beach, where you're catching that fish. They're cooking it for you as if you were in a Michelin restaurant
Yeah.
and bringing all the ingredients from the local trees and plants and creating that, ocean to table experience for you as you see it happen in front of you. Or others where you're in a vineyard and you're drinking the wine from the vineyard and they're bringing everything to you at a giant outdoor table with the
So
sun
cool.
setting, right? I
Mhm.
think, and a private band playing you music during this experience. Those are the
Yes.
kind of things that are on the rise. So again, people paying for 6-figure vacations, also paying for these kind of dining experiences.
Mhm.
I love seeing that people are splurging on themselves and making sure that they live life to the fullest.
It reminds me of this experience that I had actually in Cabo and Pueblo Bonito. So and all inclusive resort, but this was like a special added extra, and it was probably it was my first international trip, like during the pandemic, whatever. And I went with a friend of mine, and we were kind of creating content for them. They're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, we really want you to cover this," and it was like this special teepee dinner on on the beach, and like it's this whole special thing. And so we go, and it's like the two of us, and it's it's a friend of mine, and we go. I was like, oh, it's probably like an event, like maybe it's like a themed night on the beach.
Mhm.
Oh, no, we walk up, and I was like, oh, this is for two. This is this is
Just you
très
all.
romantic. And we're just like two girlfriends. Like we're just like
Yeah.
it wasn't even but it was so cool once we got over the giggles and them trying to take like couple pictures of us, and we're like, no, we're good. We're good. We just are here for the dinner. But it was such a cool experience to be like in this teepee, have all the sparkling lights. You've got the chef like not too far away from you coming up, asking what you wanted, and like really being specific. And it was such a special moment. And again, it can be something that simple, using what's around your property to your advantage. And it's amazing, how many people will absolutely uh, they want that, they'll opt for that,
Yeah.
and they'll pay for it.
Yeah, I know some people listening. I say, well, I don't work in a place like that. That's not the kind of place I work. Mine's just an average place, but you can make something special for the guests staying there. You can
Yeah.
really look around your city or your environment or vendors that and they'll be willing to help you create something very unique. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to try it. All right. Because if you don't have it to offer, no one's ever going to buy it. So
It's
get
true.
creative with your marketing and PR team. I bet you'll do something cool.
And I think there really is no such thing as average. Like you can be like, oh, you just have this, but it's like if you're creative enough, you can make anything special.
Mhm.
So you just have to think about it and get creative. So but what makes sense with your brand and your offerings.
Yeah, but I'm sure you and I hear that excuse sometimes, like, "Oh, I can't do that here." I heard that this
Oh,
week on something. I was like, "Yes, you could. Yes, you could do it."
You can. It's amazing, and that's the whole thing. And then we'll go into our next little segment
Yes,
here. But
sorry.
no, it's okay. No, but like that's the whole thing. When it comes to hospitality, like you don't have to spend a lot to make a big gesture. It's all about
Mhm.
being thoughtful, and you can take something as simple as like doing a personalized candy bar that doesn't cost a lot, but that can be a thoughtful thing, or remembering, or finding out somebody's favorite drink or whatever that is. So
Yep.
again, it's not about like pouring out a bunch of money or just being something that doesn't make sense budgetarily. It's about being thoughtful.
Yes.
So that's what it is at the end of the day. Okay, real-time recap. I wish I could. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that anymore.
We need a sound effect person. We're gonna have to invest in a sound effects and music person.
Please, because otherwise I'm going to start making the sound effects, and then you guys are really going to start judging me and be like, wow, she really was an only child. So Steve, real-time recap. What have you seen this week in the world of hospitality? Something that stuck out, good experience, bad experience, a reminder.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had a good one, and I'll give a
Mhm.
shout out to
Love
the
that.
Carillon Wellness Resort here in Miami Beach,
Yeah.
led by the fantastic managing director, Patrick Fernandez.
Mm.
So they have a brand new touchless spa offering. So they have one of the best spas in the world, but now
Very
they've
cool.
brought in all of these cool things that are touchless. So I had an awesome experience going into a cryo therapy freezer that's the coldest in the country, called the Everest. Thought my body was going to freeze, but felt rejuvenated coming out, into a laser chair that shoots
Yeah.
red beams into you, into a
Love that.
wave machine where you're sitting on top of a wave
What?
mat that makes your body wake up, and then into an electroshock chair that feels like someone's massaging you. So
Wait.
very cool. I've never had that happen before. And it was back to back to back to back, hour and a half. And I felt like a brand new person coming out.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
But like,
crazy.
but so cool.
Yeah, so it's all touchless. You go in, you go on these timed adventures with yourself, and someone kind of guides you place to place and tells you the benefits. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but I felt good coming out.
I love this. You're going on a timed adventure with yourself. Is that the verbiage that they use?
No, but I'm saying it. So, and you could check out the article on the hospitalitymentor.com. We just talked about it.
No, I love that. No, but again, that's so cool that people have this sort of creative way that they're, thinking about things. So I'm going to keep mine super, super simple. And I love this because we can all relate to it. So first of all, what you guys might not know about me, I love going to the grocery store. Like, I really love going to the grocery
I do
store.
not like going. I use Instacart every day or every time.
I know there are some people that are just like, no, thanks. No, for me, like I could. And there have been many times that I go to the grocery store like once a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't have to buy a
Amazing.
lot. I don't have to buy a lot, but that's like my thing. And there's the one grocery store, not a fancy store or anything like that, near me that I go to. And every single time I'm there, I also do the self-checkout as well too. I'm weird. Everybody's learning all my
You love
little
the experience. You love it.
the idiosyncrasies of Sarah. But I do the self-checkout, and this guy comes over every time and like he gives me like extra like gas points. And I'm always like, why me? Like, do you do this all the time? But now it's like become a thing. Like he literally, every time he's working and every time I'm there, and it doesn't matter whether I'm there at like 8 a.m. or if I'm there at 8 p.m., whatever, if he's working and I'm going through he comes and he just like gives extra points. And he does it to other people too, by the way. So it's not just he's just targeting me, but it's nice that it's like become this like little thing that's a little extra.
He's being thoughtful.
Totally being thoughtful. It's the grocery store, guys. It's how much is this guy getting paid? For real. Like, what is his job? He mans the self checkout at the grocery store. And yet he has been able to do something so simple that it makes me feel good. And I go back and I shop at that grocery store. I know it's such a simple example, but it's that reminder that it doesn't matter where you are or your surroundings or even the limitations of what your job is. You can do something a little bit extra to go out of the way that guests will feel that and they will come back. So that's my little story.
No, it's great. It's like we watch Ratatouille in my house all the time, where anyone can cook, anyone can provide hospitality anywhere.
Is true.
Right? So it doesn't have to be in ultra luxe. It could be at the grocery store with Sarah, making sure she's having a great day.
Oh my gosh. Oh, now everybody's really going to learn so much about me. You're like, cool. Sarah likes to go shopping and do the self-checkout. I love the self-checkout. Okay. So that was our real-time recap in hospitality. As we get ready to wrap up our segment here, this is a cool hospitality quote. Steve, do you have it at your fingertips? Do you want to go ahead and read it?
I will read our hospitality quote
today. It's a longer one, but it's a good one.
Yes. Intelligent luxury is all about thinking about what really is special for our guests, what's different, and to give them a surprise that they are not used to. I love that.
Yeah, you don't have to say the name of who said that because that's a long name.
Is it Sonu Shivdasani? I'm going to say
fine.
I gave it a shot.
Fine. Yeah, you gave it a shot. Bravo. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be on your game show because you know how to say last names. That's awesome. And this is, I like this quote in particular because it's this intelligent luxury. We were talking about people that are spending, six figures on their vacations, on these experiences. So obviously that's more than just luxury. I mean, they're spending money. So
Yep.
anybody can buy something expensive or nice or shiny, but it's the intelligent part, which I think kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, this notion of thoughtfulness.
Yes.
And so,
And
so
making
yes,
it unique to you.
yeah,
And
exactly.
for Elvin out there, because he's asking if we're live. Yes, Elvin,
Yes,
we are live. And
we
thanks
are live.
for tuning in on YouTube. But
Yes.
it's true. It's all about being perceptive, watching, and really thinking about what's going to make someone's day special. So I love that quote. I think it's going to be a good way for all of you out there listening. Go make someone's day special with a little thoughtfulness. It could be anything.
Yeah, exactly. Love that. So, yeah, there we have it. I think that was a really strong, positive note to kind of wrap up the show on. This was exciting. If you guys were inspired by today's conversation and you've got questions for us or a topic that you want us to cover on a future episode, definitely reach out to us, send us messages. I know that Steve and I are constantly plugged in online, so reach out, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you can find our familiar faces. And exciting. It'll be so much more to come.
Yeah, we love talking to you every week, and I can't wait for next one.
And I do want to say always a shout out to those helping us in the back. We've got producer Claire in the background. Will's been helping out as well too. So thank you so much in the background. We would not be able to do this live without you, or we would, but it would probably be a little sloppy. So thank you. Well, thank you guys. If you like this show, be sure to find us where you listen to all of your podcasts and subscribe, follow, engage, and more from us next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Logify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.